It's really not my choice, right? Because I'm just a child and I just follow my dad everywhere I go. I wanted to be kind of away from my family. I don't know where home is. Hi, how are you? Come on in. My name is Kelly, and my real name is Suman Kim. It was given by my father. He thought that would be a really good lawyer name because he wanted me to be a lawyer. But obviously, that did not come true. That was not my choice of field. There's a funny story about my kindergarten, which is my mom thought I was very bored when I was a child, and so she sent me to kindergarten a year earlier than I was supposed to go. And so, yeah, I mean, I was the youngest girl in kindergarten. I was the baby of the group. But, I had a lot of fun. And I was also, my brother was in the same kindergarten, so, him and I would spend good time there. And yeah, so 5 years passed by in Korea. At this point in time, I feel like I'm gonna spend the rest of my life in Korea, like all the other kids. But my dad had a very good opportunity for a job in Hong Kong, so he decided to move the whole family there. And yeah, so then began my chapter in Hong Kong, and that's where I learned English for the first time. And this was also a very new environment for me. I was exposed to a lot of diverse cultures. There are a lot of like American people, British people, Indian people. There are just so many ethnicities. And after I was more, comfortable with English, my parents and I moved to an island that is 30 minutes away from the main city of Hong Kong called Discovery Bay. And I was only there for a year, but I always still were able to make friends wherever I was going, so that was good. It's really not my choice, right? Because I'm just a child and I just follow my dad everywhere I go. My family and I, after spending 5 years in Hong Kong, we moved to Switzerland. First time in Europe, and this was because my dad, again, had a better opportunity for his job. There was better pay and obviously the opportunity to live in Europe. And his company was also paying for, my brother and my tuition. And it also came with, a very nice house. So yeah, there was just a lot of benefits to, moving there. I only have good memories there. First of all, the scenery is beautiful. The air quality is like completely different. We had a beautiful view of like the Swiss lake, and I had really great friends there, and it was just it was a really good time. Everything changed when I moved from Switzerland to Korea. So now I am back to Korea. I haven't been there since I left when I was 5 years old. And yeah, so now again, this is another huge transition for me because now I'm going from all European kids to now all Korean kids. When I went there, everyone was Korean. There was not a single foreigner there. And also, these Korean kids were speaking only Korean, even though it's an international school. We're all supposed to speak English. I mean, obviously they had the ability to speak English, but their choice of communication with, other students was Korean. And this quickly, kind of made me an outcast, because I was not good at Korean at all. At this point in time now, I am more comfortable with English than I am with Korean. So it was honestly quite traumatic, and I'm still kind of dealing with the trauma that I got from this, this transition. I was, made fun of for my lack of Korean skills. I was also made fun of for the way I was dressing because, in Korea or in East Asian culture in general, they wear more like conservative clothes, right? And they wear neutral colors, but me, I loved colors. I loved pink, green, blue. Like I was wearing all sorts of fun colors. The way I dressed, the way I spoke, it obviously was not, they were not used to this way of dressing and speaking and my lifestyle. And so yeah, I was made fun of those kinds of things. And I once used to be a very outgoing, confident, fun, and I was not taking life too seriously. I was just a very free-spirited child. And after moving to Korea, I quickly went back into my shell. I wanted to stop moving around. I wanted to be kind of away from my family. So from there, I moved to America. This was because, growing up, with all the moves that I was making, I never felt like I had control of my own life. And for once in my life, I wanted to feel the sense of, independence and control and freedom from my family. And so that really drove me to, apply to colleges in America. And luckily, I got accepted to NYU. I did my undergrad there. 4 years passed by. I get my first full-time job in New York. We're doing a PR internship, and I just remembered I really enjoyed it. And so I applied to USC in the PR and advertising program for my master's. So I decided to move to LA, and quickly I just felt a sense of community. My goal is to, settle down here, but obviously that comes with challenges, like being an international student, we have to go through a very extensive visa process, and we have to find a company that is willing to sponsor us. And it's pretty tough, trying to stay here as an international student. But I'm gonna try my hardest, and I'm gonna hope for the best. And I have faith that everything will work out in our favor.